Hey, it's Holly, and today I want to show you how I make Christmas light garland to decorate your house for the Christmas season. Okay, so to make our Christmas light garland, the first thing you need to do is decide what colors you want to use. I'm going to go for a traditional, multicolored Christmas strand, and I'm going to start with this bright orange here by Big Twist Yarns. It's a number 4 medium weight and calls for a 5mm hook, but I am going to use this 4mm hook by Yarnology just because I want my stitches to be a little tighter. You're also going to need some yarn to do the tops of your bulbs and the garland. I chose black and I just got myself a little scrap ball here. You're also going to need scissors for cutting and trimming. You're going to need a yarn needle for sewing in all those loose ends. And you're going to need some fiber fill for filling in your light bulb. Squishy, squishy. Okay, let's get started. I like to pull out a lot here. And what we're going to do is start with a magic circle. So to do that, you want to lay your yarn across your fingers, go around, cross it, and just tuck a little kind of under it, just a little, enough to put your needle through. And then I drop the circle and pick up my yarn and chain 1. Okay, now you have a circle here you can work in, and you're going to work right across these two kind of twisted lines here, and you're going to put in 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then you can drop your string and you pick up this little tail end and you just tighten it down, and that's your magic circle closed up nicely. For round 2, we want to do 2 double. I always want to say double, but we're doing singles. 2 single crochets into each of these 4 stitches. So that first one, sometimes it's hard to get into the first side of the front side of the loop there, but with a little patience, you'll always get it. I work over my tail end to help hide it in the project, and it comes in handy a little later on. I'll show you that. So we're going to put 2 in here. So 1, 2. Now just keep going around until you get 8. Putting 2 in each stitch. 3 and 4, 5, 6, the last one, 7, and 8. Okay. Now what you want to do is try to make sure to push it right so that you're working on the right side, not inside out. So for round 3, what we're going to do is just do 8 single crochets around. So 1, 2, that tail end down, sorry, 3, 4, 5, sometimes it's hard to see with the tail, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so now mine turned itself inside out while I was working. That's perfectly fine. Just go ahead and rotate it back to the correct side. And now I think I've worked my yarn tail in enough, but before I cut it, I like to just give it, and this is one of the reasons I like to have it worked in, is I can give it a little pull and it tightens up my circle, so it gives my point a little more of a point. Okay. So I'm just going to trim off a little of this excess and then go back to crocheting, and I'm just going to not work over that anymore because that will just get tucked down inside. So for our next round, we want to go from 8 stitches to 12 stitches. And how we're going to do that is in the first one we're going to do an increase, which simply means to put 2 single crochets into the first stitch, and then in the next stitch put 1. And what we want to do is do that for a total of 4 times. So that's 1. We'll do an increase and a single for 2, an increase and a single for 3, an increase and a single for 4. All right, so now we have 12 stitches. So for the next round, again, all we're going to do is do 1 single crochet all the way around for a total of 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay. See, we're starting to get a little kind of a triangle going on there. That's perfect. So for the next round, we want to go from 12 up to 16. So to do that, we're going to do 2 single crochets, just as normal. 1, 2, then we're going to put in an increase. So that's just 2 and 1 that time. So you're going to do that a total of 4 times. So that was 1. Now we're going to do it again. So 1, 2, and an increase. That counts as 2 times. 1, 2, and an increase. That counts as 3. 1, 2, and an increase. That is our 4. Okay, so we have 16 stitches now. So what we want to do is, again, just go around 1 in each for a total of 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay. So now, the next row, we want to go up to 20. So to do that, we're going to do an increase right in the front. So the first stitch, put an increase in, and then do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. That's your first time. Again, you're going to want to do that for a total of 4 times. So let's do it again. Do an increase. And 1, 2, and 3. That's 2 times. So again, do it again. An increase, which is just 2 stitches in the same stitch, and then do 3. 1, 2, 3, and that's our 3rd time. One more time. So an increase, and 1, 2, and 3. Now you have 20 stitches. So the next 3 rows are just doing 20 stitches around. So go ahead and pause this video, do the next 3 rows of 20 stitches, and meet me back here when you're all done. Okay, so after you finish the 3 rows of 20, we are now left with what looks like, well, for my case, since I did orange first, kind of looks like a carrot. But anyways, just a little triangle. What we're going to do now is start the decreasing rounds to make it look more like a bulb. So the first one, we want to go from 20 back to 16. So what we're going to do, we're going to do invisible single decreases, and the way you do that is in this first one, you're going to go into just the front loop of the stitch, just the front loop. I don't know if you can see that, sometimes mine are a little tight. So just the front loop, pull yarn through, then go to the next stitch, do the same thing, just that front loop, not the whole stitch, just the front loop. Pull through, and you'll have 3 on your hook, go through all. And then you're going to just do 3 regular crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that's one time. We're going to do that a total of 4. So again, with the invisible single decrease, so you go through the front loop on one and pull yarn through the front loop on the other, pull through. You'll have 3, pull through all, and then just do 3. 1, sorry, I got a little messed up there. 2, and 3. That is 2 of those. Do it 2 more times. Do the decrease. 1, 2, and 3. That's 3. One more time. Having a little trouble getting through that one. Sorry. Do the decrease. 1, 2, and 3. That was our 4th time. Okay. For our next round, we're going to do 2 single crochets. 1, 2, and a decrease, an invisible decrease. So through those front loops only and do the decrease. That was one time. We're going to do that a total of 4. And we're going to be down from 16 down to 12. So do 2 regular, 1 and 2, and do your decreasing round. Okay, that's number 2. Go 1, 2, and decrease, that's 3. 1, 2, and a decrease, that is number 4. Okay, see how it's starting to come back in? You'll notice it a lot more once you stuff it with your fiberfill. Okay, our last row for your orange color, we need to get from 12 down to 8. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do, sorry, the first one's always hard to do a decrease on. Decrease, and then just 1 regular single crochet, and do that a total of 4 times. So that was 1 time. This will do our decrease and a single. It's 2 times. A decrease. Oh, gotta get in there. Oh, I kind of split my yarn there. We don't want to do that. Decrease and a single is 2 times. A decrease and a single is 3 times, and 1 more time. I gotta get a little slack for me here. 1 more time. Decrease and a single is 4 times. Now you are left with 8 stitches. And all we're going to do here is just do into the very next stitch, do a slip stitch, and then grab your yarn, pull it through there, and you can cut it and tie it off. And there we go, we have your little thing. And now it's time, I like to take this little end of the yarn and tuck him inside. Get him tucked in there real good. Okay, now we're going to want to get our fiberfill. I'm going to use my yarn needle here for something. You take a little, I always find just a little at a time works best. And you can start working it in there. Sometimes it's easier if you have something to help push it down. You could use your crochet hook, or in this case I'm trying to push it in here with my little yarn needle. Just get it down in there. Usually once you get a little going, you can even use your finger. Stuff it in there real good. Okay, so I got a little. I think I need a little more. They don't have to be stuffed really tight. I mean, it's a personal preference, really. I like mine a little more squishy. So I just stuff a little at a time. I'm going to put just a little bit more in. And then I think I will be done with my stuffing there. So there's my bulb. All done and ready for his topper. So move my fiber fill over. I'm going to need it again here in a minute, and I will need my darning needle a little later. I'm done with my orange, and now I need my black. So get yourself whatever color you're using for your topper. Again, I chose black, but it's your garland, whatever color you like. And you're just going to make a slip knot. And what we're going to do is a standing single crochet tie-on. That's what we're going to do. So you put your slip knot on your hook, and what we're going to do is we want to go around this and get 8 stitches in there. So I'm going to find a stitch, and I'm going to go into the stitch. Again, I always work over my tail. You do not have to. But you're just going to grab your yarn, come up. You should have 2 on your hook. Just pull through both. That is 1. So just go around, get 8 on there. 2. When you're doing little amounts like this, it could be hard. 3, 4. Oops, see? Sometimes it's just hard to work that little circle. But just keep going until you get 8 on there. 5. 6, 7, and here's my last guy here. 8. Okay. Now what you're going to do is do that, go around 3 more times. So to start your next row, you need to attach these 2. So you're going to find the top. Like I said, with the black it's a little hard to see, but you're going to find that top stitch of your first and just go right into that. Go right into there. See, I got it right on there? You're just going to go right in and count that as your 1. And then, like I said, just do that 3 rows of 8 after that. So the total of 4, but so do it 3 more times. Go ahead and pause the video and meet me back here when you've gotten your 3 rows of 8 done. Okay, so I finished my 3 more rows of 8, and now I'm ready to tie off. So all I want to do is, again, just slip stitch into that next stitch, and then grab the yarn, pull it through, give yourself a nice long tail for sewing in, and just pull it through. Now, before we sew this shut, I like to put just a little stuffing here in the top, so I'm going to grab a little more of my fiber fill and get it in there. Sometimes it's a little hard, sometimes it needs a little coercing to go down. I find a nice skinny crochet hook works really great. Unfortunately, my little fat one here is a little too fat for it, but I like to put a little in just to help hold it up. Okay, so you get that all in there. Alright, now all we're going to do is sew it shut. So, get your yarn on your yarn needle. Okay, and then what you're going to do is go around and only pick up the outside hoop of each stitch all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 more, 8. And now here's the fun part. You just give a little pull and everybody cinches right up nice and tight. I think it looks just like a little Christmas light. So now I like to work my tail in just in a couple of stitches real quick, and then go just straight down and come out somewhere down at the bottom. Doesn't matter that you're pulling it. And trim your yarn real close to it. And then when you pull your thing, the tail end is now hidden on the inside. So there we go. There's our first light bulb. So go ahead and make as many light bulbs as you want for your garland, and then I will show you how to attach them all into a garland. Okay, so now that you have all of your light bulbs made, I chose only 6 because I only need a tiny garland for what I'm making. You need to now decide what order you want them in. If you pick 2 colors, you probably want to go every other, but for me I picked all these bright colors, and they could be arranged in many different ways, but I think I'm gonna go with a traditional kind of a rainbow feel. I like bright colors. So first I'm gonna move them all up a little, and we're gonna start with one. I'm using my black yarn, but you use whatever you want for your garland. So the first thing you're gonna do is, again, just make a slip knot. Put your hook in it, tighten it down. And what you want to do is chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Chain 10. And what you want to do is, and you can, this is the beginning of your chain, so if you want to chain it longer to give yourself more room to tie it on something, go ahead and do that. But for me, I only needed a little bit, so I chained 10. Now what I want to do is, just on the top of it, it's hard to see in the black, but all you do is kind of work through a couple, find a couple stitches, go in, grab your yarn, come out, and just do a slip stitch right into the chain there. Mine's a little tight, but that's okay. Now chain 10 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we grab our next color. Again, we just want to find a spot to go through a couple of stitches on the top. Sometimes it's a little easier, sometimes it's not. Grab that yarn, pull it through, and just slip stitch it into the chain. Chain 10 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm onto my green. Coming out, grab that yarn, pull through, slip stitch into the chain. Chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Onto my pretty yellow. I think that one might be my favorite. I do love yellow. Actually, I really love all the colors. That's why I chose the multicolor. It's so hard for me to pick colors. You can ask my husband. I'm always, which color to get? I want them all. Okay, I just went through, slip stitched back into the chain. Chain 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Onto the orange one that you guys saw me make. I still think it looks a little like a carrot, but I like that. Pull it through it, slip stitch it into the chain. Chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And my last one is my red. Go through it, pull the yarn through, slip stitch it into the chain, and chain. Now at this point, if you chain 20 or 30 on your end, go ahead and chain that same amount, but I kept the same 10 in the middle. You're going to want to keep 10 in between your bulbs because it keeps them the right amount. You could probably do a little more if you wanted to, but I think this looks more like an actual strand of light. So I'm just going to chain 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to cut my string. Give me a little tail there. I'm going to do one and just pull it all the way through, and that will tighten it down. So we're all done. Here is our Christmas light garland. I think it turned out absolutely adorable. I had so much fun making these, and I just love the way the bright colors I picked turned out. But I'd love to know what you guys used for yours, so comment down below and let me know what color combinations you use. Click this picture of the pineapple to subscribe to the channel, and if this video is helpful, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget about our giveaway we're having, so click this video over here and it will tell you how to enter and what the prizes all are. Bye!